So hello, I'm Melissa Cruz from Broken Sea Farm, and today I'm going to be getting ready seed potatoes. I'm going to be cutting them. My husband's going to be getting the ground ready tilled. So we used DeSoto, and this is what they look like. These are rather large. You see these are called eyes. You want to cut as many eyes off the potatoes as you can without damaging the other one. So I'm going to make the first cut. You see it? That will grow bunches of other potatoes. We were supposed to get these planted and in the ground by February the 14th. But with this Louisiana weather, that didn't happen. The ground was rotten, and if we had planted the potatoes, we would have had rotten potatoes. So we're late, so it's better late than never. You see this? This is what's left over of the eyes I didn't get cut. So I'm going to take this inside and I'll clean it up, and then I will process it and put it in my freeze dryer, and we'll have potatoes later. I don't like to waste anything. The older I get, the worse I am about it. So I'm going to finish this up, and then I'll show you how many we got later. Look at the eyes on that potato. See it? That's 4. So I'm going to try getting 4 cuts out of this potato, which would be great. So we'll see. And then there's a bunch of little bitty ones. These are really good seed potatoes. You want to do your best not to damage those eyes. I don't like making a thin cut on them. I like them, and I don't like them real thick. That's about what I like going. If I go any thinner, they tend to shrivel. If you go any thicker, then they tend to rot. At least that's my luck. We usually get around 25 pounds, and we get them from our local feed store. We go to Cousins. It's in Gina, Louisiana. Sweet people. So now I've finished my red potatoes, the DeSoto. So now I'm going to go on. I bought 5 pounds of Yukon Gold just to see if I could grow them. I love mashed potatoes made with Yukon Gold potatoes. So let me see what I got. See, these are a little bit different. The eyes aren't as big on these, but they're still good. Look to be pretty good seed potatoes. So I'll get to cutting on these. These do not have near amount the eyes that the red potatoes do. I don't know. We'll try them. That's the yellow. This is the red. And this is just one cut. This is one potato. These did so much better. So now I'm going to show you the amount of potatoes we got. 5-gallon bucket. I'm anxious to see how many. So this would be 30 pounds of seed potatoes cut for the garden. I'm anxious to see how many potatoes we yield this year. Hopefully they won't rot. Hopefully the ants won't eat them. Let me show you what we're starting out with. 5-gallon bucket of seed potatoes. He's got the ground tilled. Now he's going to put out some lime, and then he'll come back and till it again and fertilize, and then it'll be time to plant the potatoes. Now he's tilling in the lime and the fertilize. And now we're going to start putting out potatoes. He puts them out and I come behind them and smash them in the ground. I'm going to start off with the Yukon Gold, and then we'll plant the DeSoto Red at the end. You're just going to grab it and push it down there and pat it over. We don't put them real deep here because they'll rot. The ground is wetter than what we like. But if we don't plant them now, we're not gonna get any. Plant eye side up. You pray God that they make. All right, it's all planted. All planted. Is you gonna talk to me? We made it this far. We made it this far. No, we don't go backwards. We won't go frontwards. Come on, JD. Make them go. Encourage your friend. Now he's ready to, you little turd. Come on. You gotta get exercise. Your mama, the ant bed's gonna bite you in the nose. See those three right there? The black one we're gonna eat, but them other two, they started swimming the pond to get in here. He's not pulling against me as hard. Whew. You're giving me exercise. I'm supposed to be exercising. No, forward. Mind your mama. I'm your mama now. No, we go forward. I'm the boss. You gonna give him love. What y'all doing?
Of JD.
Give him sugar. Oh. Got him some fresh hay. I just think about bedding day before yesterday. He drank maybe a half a bottle. Yesterday he drank about a half a bottle. Yesterday evening he drank about a half a bottle. Well, this morning he come around. He drank 1 1/4 bottles. He's had all the colostrum. We should start seeing a big improvement. When he gets a little bigger, we'll put him out during the day in the small pasture like we do JD now. Shut him up at night because we have a bad problem with coyotes and cats. And I'm not talking about kitty cats. Do you not like the smell of the new hay? Huh? So I'm going to start making my hash. First I'm going to cut up 1 onion. So I used my chopper thing earlier for prepping the potatoes that were left over for planting potatoes, and I have them freeze dry. So I'm gonna coarsely chop them. I don't want I don't want them diced. I want them chopped like big pieces. And do a whole onion. Medium, which for mine is about between 4 and 5. I'm gonna get my wooden spoon and start stirring. I'm really not going to cook them at this point because I'm going to be adding my potatoes, and I got to boil my potatoes. So when I boil my potatoes, my onions are cooked. So I've chopped 2 cups. And I'm going to go to my bucket and get enough water to cover the potatoes. You want just enough to cook. Because you're just going to cook the potatoes until they're, as we would call it, tater salad tender. At this point, I'm going to turn the fire up. And I'm going to sprinkle a teaspoon of salt. If you notice, I use a teaspoon of salt for everything. One reason I just use salt, garlic powder, or onion powder is because I have crumbs for y'all that are just joining, and I don't use a bunch of seasoning. So while the potatoes and onions are cooking, I'm going to chop up the remainder of my deer roast that I cooked last night for supper. I saved it. It is inevitable. If I have deer roast or any form of roast, the next day we are going to have hash or sandwiches. One or the other. That's just how it is. I like cooking all my wild game meat, well, really meat in general, in cast iron. To me, it tastes good. I was raised up eating out of cast iron. Yeah. You don't want to cut this real tiny. You want to coarsely chop it because it's going to kind of come apart as it heats up once that's cooked. It's a very quick, easy meal. You can use beef. So in the meantime, I'm going to open my English peas that I grew in our garden. I do not buy vegetables from the store, hardly at all. Only the good vegetables that I cannot grow here, which is not many. These peas are old from a dear sweet friend of ours that shared the seed with us. It was his mama, and if I'm not mistaken, his mama passed away when she was 103 or 104, and it was her seeds, so I'm sure it was passed on down to her. You don't even have butter, you don't have to have salt, you don't have to have anything on it. They're just good. So you basically just want to warm these up because they've already been cooked, because they've been pressure cooked. So I'm going to just turn them on a very, very, very low simmer. Like my flames. So this is what it's going to look like when it's done. The potatoes are done, the onions are done, and the water is just about gone. So now I'm going to add my deer. Turn your fire down to low. Better yet, turn it to a simmer. Mine cooks good. Just stir it in. This is what it looks like when it's done. Just let it simmer a little bit to heat that meat up. My slice of bread that I've made today. Freshwheatbread. There you have it. A meal made for a man, fit for a king, except my husband said a king wouldn't eat this. I guess he's not a king. Y'all have a blessed evening.